Cool. Well, that was a serious piece of advice. I think I should be very consistent with my videos. I need to post them regularly. I'll try, by the way. Oh, by the way, if you remember what the voice said, you should post videos regularly. Look at that there, should post. Should plus V1. That is a basic way of giving a piece of advice. And in this video, we'll talk about 3 different ways of giving advice to somebody. Using should, had better, ought to. Should, had better, and ought to. Are you ready? Now, I have divided this one into 3 parts. In the first part, I'll explain to you how to use each of these. And then in the second part, I'll show some conversations actually made by my students. And then I'll actually give you an exercise, a simple exercise, don't worry. And that is how you can master using should, ought to, and had better. Okay, now the first one, should and V1. And sometimes in negative cases, we use should, not, and the base form of the verb, that is verb 1. Okay, for example, you can say, you should stop telling lies. You should stop telling lies. Like you should plus verb 1. You should stop telling lies. And in this case, you can also say, you should not tell lies. You should stop telling lies. You should not tell lies. Okay? Now, you can also say, for example, your friend has been suffering from fever for 3 days and he hasn't yet seen a doctor. You can say, you should see a doctor. Of course, in place of see, you can use alternatives like you should visit a doctor. You should consult a doctor. You should meet a doctor. And this is how we do should plus V1 and should not plus V1. That is a basic one. And next one, ought to. Be careful with the spelling O-U-G-H-T and T-O, ought to. And in negative sentences, we use ought not to. Ought not to. Now, this is exactly the same as should. You should not smoke is the same as you ought not to smoke. Especially when you want to be formal and polite, you can use this ought to. So, you ought to stop telling lies. You ought to respect your parents. And now, in the same way, you can use had better, but this is a very different one. Had better can be used to give strong piece of advice to somebody. Sometimes you believe that should alone cannot give that emphasis, cannot give that force. So you use had better. Strong piece of advice. Now you had better work hard if you want to keep up your first rank. You already have the first rank, and if you want to maintain the same rank, you had better work hard. Strong piece of advice. And sometimes people can use this one differently to give a threat as well. That's a different story. If you want to learn how to use had better in a different way, in different situations, you can actually watch this video. I am going to leave the link to that video in the cards here. Okay? Now, should, ought to, and had better. Now, I would like you to watch these conversations made by my students and focus on the titles there. The titles contain the structures should and V1, something like that. Okay? Now, at the end of this video, I'll give you 2 questions. You try to answer them in order to give a piece of advice. Okay? So, that's it. And I'll see you on the other side.
Sami, I don't understand how to use this word in a context.
Oh, sorry, I also don't know about that. But you should see a dictionary for more examples.
Charan, I am feeling very tired lately. You should get more rest and sleep.
Akhil, you look so dull. What happened?
I have a bad headache.
I think you should see a doctor.
Thank you.
Siddhartha, I don't understand this.
What does it mean?
Literacy. I don't understand this. I think you should ask the teacher.
Prakash, I have an important presentation tomorrow, but I'm feeling very nervous. Sad, you had better rehearse your presentation multiple times to build your confidence.
Rakesh, I have a job interview tomorrow and I am not sure what to wear.
You ought to dress professionally to make good impression.
By the way, if you think that this video gives some value to you, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new, and then don't forget to hit that like button. That will help me and the channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video.